Hi there, welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue Volume 18, Episode 13 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Scrapbooks. I thought I'd start with Gypsy saying hello to everybody, because the next time you see her, she's going to have a very, very different haircut. And she knows it. She had to go to the vet, and she's being kind of blue. And then she knows she's got to go to the groomers this weekend, so she knows she's in for something. So, let me say hi. I love her when she's scruffy like this, but everybody's like, no, you need to get her trimmed down. So I love when she's all floofy like this. She's so cute. She's so cute like that. Okay. So you'll hear a squeaky toy in a second. We're going to continue with, like I said, episode 13, volume 18, and we're going to finish Concord. I know. And the first thing that I found, and let me tell you something. When I do these videos and I go to make my pages, I go through this pile. There's really a box, and it's kind of, sort of, got like envelopes that say like 2004, 2005, so on and so forth. And then there's a little pile here. And underneath that is a lot of my construction, the paper that I use and such, besides this closet that I had behind the camera. And then there's like a couple other places where there's little tidbits. There's some stuff behind me. There's some stuff on the floor here. There's just like a little pile. So I know what era I'm working in, and I go and I try to find all that stuff. And it never fails that no sooner do I do something than I will find a piece that I was looking for. For example, I discussed that there were these cards that were handed out at the shows, and I had a ton of these somewhere. And on one side it said Stevie Nicks and for the Crystal Visions. And on the other side it says Chris Isaak. And this is the card that I said Chris Isaak signed for me. That says Anita, though it's impossible to read. They drew the little devil horns, and this says Chris Isaak there. It's cool. Would you stop, please? She doesn't want to play with the squeaky toy. She wants to play with the big black squeaky toy, which would be the cat. Both of them are driving me crazy tonight. So the little horns and everything like that, it was just really cute. But this was the one that I did have signed in Concord. So this does kind of pertain to my Concord show. So there was that, which I was happy to find. I would like to post this in my scrapbook, and but I'd like to find the other side because it has such a nice postcard on both sides, little promo postcard. And I have a pile of them somewhere, but where are they? I don't know. And when I found this, I said to myself, I have a pile of these somewhere, and I know I've given a lot away, and I put a lot in lots that I put on eBay, but I know that I kept more than one or two. So we started with this that I'd shown last time, and this started this article, and this was my ticket, like I had shown. So the remainder of this article follows through on this page here. This page here, and these were some more of my pictures, and I had gotten some really nice close-ups of Stevie, I thought. Again, the Concord show. That one looks really cool. With a little, I like it, kind of looks like a jewel or a little, flame or something. So it's a little bit grainy, but still a pretty good picture. So I'm pretty happy with these pictures. And then finally, the last piece of the article is here, 2 columns, and again, some really good close-up shots. This one is really cool because I had shown it to Jana. I had sent it to her like last week sometime. And I told her, I said, it's such a cool picture, but I love how she's smiling in this picture. She just looks so happy and stuff. And I think Stevie's kind of going over and doing the little dance. I think I'd mentioned this earlier before, but so Jana had thought that was really cool, and we were kind of just talking. We're not like friends, so I'm not even trying to go there, but we just talked for a minute or so, just a couple texts back and forth, and then she put it up on her page and thanked me for having shared the photo with her. So that made me really happy. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with these shots. A lot of these, some of them are kind of, I don't know why, but just when she first comes out, and you got to kind of play with it and stuff. And then unfortunately, I think what I was going to do on this page here on the last thing that I had was this really cool pass, which I think I was going to put right there. Before I glued it down, I wanted to show it to you guys because this is a rarer pass. It's the only time I've ever seen this picture with Stevie. So that's a really cool, which is why I love some of these passes. And it's for the 07 tours, you can see up here. And then there is a name on the back, but I'm going to block it just in case. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, just in case. I think I said a name of another one in the past, but that was in the past. So, but this does not have the metallic on the back. So super cute picture though. And I'm not too sure which dog this is of hers. Could be Sulamith. I don't really remember. But I absolutely love this. And I love, of course, the foil pass and everything like that is so nice. So that is that. And like I said, that's going to go, how am I going to put it here? When I'm done here, I'm going to just, put it like somewhere right here. Make it all look nice there. So then that's kind of it for 2007. This page was a funky page that was made a long time ago, and it's evident because it looks like crap, and it really bums me out. I really need to take it apart and do it again. But I was really trying to think about what Stevie was doing in 2008, and what she was doing in 2008 was she had the Live in Chicago DVD and CD. But I don't really have much media about, like, by media I mean like, magazine articles or little tidbits or something like that. And she still had some shows. She had done, there was this show here. She'd done something in Arizona. So there's this cool little article here in 2008. But this one actually could be 2007. I'm sorry. I think this one is 2007 still. This was the Doug Fest in 2008, and this was like a cool little flyer type thing that they had. See if you can see this page kind of goes over this article, which I absolutely hate. And then there is this little ad from a show that she's doing. So kind of the same picture from the same time. Another ad from later. And what's cool about this picture and this picture, which I forgot to show, and I couldn't exactly put it in the book, but at one of her shows on June 5th, 2008, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Biloxi, Mississippi, there was this chip that you could get at the casino, which was super cool, $5 chip. I hate doing the old influencer thing. Oh, can you see this back here? But it's so cool, right? I kind of wish I'd gotten two of them, but I just got it on eBay. And I mean, what am I going to do with two of them anyway? That's $10 there. I guess I could take it out of this, this container, and put it in there, or put it in there like this, but I know it'd be kind of bulky in the book. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but I just love the fact that, her picture's on it and that she had her own, come on, focus in on this, that she had her own casino chip. It's not really focusing, is it? There you go. So that was kind of a cool thing. Then additionally on this page, we have these two things. So it's just kind of a lot of stuff Stevie is doing. This is a little, one little thing. I don't even know what magazine this came out of. Everything is all, drives me nuts and stuff is like this. But this little article had come out and it was talking specifically about the Live in Chicago. And I have some stuff that's in my binders and stuff like that. That's probably from 2008, probably. And which maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I also don't recall that anything specific came out with ordering the DVD or the CD. So it doesn't seem like there's any lithographs or anything like that. It was just ordering it. But it didn't seem like there's a lot of press. It seems like there were small little excerpts here and there. And then at the same time, Lindsey Buckingham going into 2008, because I should do the 2007 stuff, but who's going into Gift of Screws was going into 2008 as well on the tour. So this was an article from Rolling Stone in 2008 talking about it. And then a pass from that time, a little review. And then one of the coolest passes I have from Stevie ever. I'm part of her 2008 stops. There's quite a few of these. So these, for those of you, who are my age, probably remember the Powder Puff Girls. And there is a pink one and I think a green one and stuff like that. I do believe that there are a series of different colors for different, like probably photographer. This is working past backstage and stuff like that. Probably super adorable. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was real, but I did a little research and yeah, there's several of them. So I like this one. It's kind of unique. I just wish it was from a show I had attended. And then the thing about Lindsay, again, he had gotten 3 stars for Gift of Screws. Really touching on, and again, it was a, fabled studio wish shows why he should get out of the house. Just talking about how you should keep making music. So again, really, like I said, Lindsay really did almost always get the praise. So yeah, that was just a jumbled up kind of a, wrapping up of 2007, some 2008, but that was before I had a lot more stuff that I have. So this really should come apart and kind of be redone with stuff. And just, like I said, looking at it, my Virgo OCD is going into overdrive right now with this covering this and this being all hinky. And then this was a cute little excerpt. Stevie talking about, I haven't laid out in the sun since I was 28. Like she knows exactly what year, how old she was. While everyone else is out there burning up, I'm walking around going, when I do look 60, you will all look 100. It's kind of a point. Phoenix native Stevie Nicks on why her skin looks so good to People magazine. So that was cute, this little part here. So that was really it, kind of boring for the remainder of what I had. I mean, I found some other stuff, there's nothing else is on the back because like I said, this was a loose page. I don't really have that much going into 2009, so I think I'm going to save that for Monday's video because there's probably only going to be about 3 or 4 pages, but I have a couple stories. And I really debated on how I'm going to tell these stories because I have to tell them gingerly, politely. This is a point where the friendship that I had with the one friend that I continuously bring up, this started to kind of go south with Saboba, really came to an end. We're still acquaintances probably on social media, but there's just really no dialogue that goes back and forth. And like I said, I don't want it to seem so as bitter as probably I do feel and sound, because it's really not like that. I would like to look back on it and think that it's an instance where this person, if they realize, like they heard me say it, like I want to convey it on a video, they would be like, oh my God, I didn't realize it came out that way, and fix it. But, so it's worth the conversation and stuff. I wish I could remember the video for you to watch. I think it would be around Say You Will. What I want you to remember is if you haven't seen it yet, there's a video around that time where I talk about that friend and I being out and a girl had been given passes. She was wearing a lanyard, but she had been given passes and she was just looking at them like they were dog shit. And that will play into. So go, if you're watching me right now and you plan to watch me on Monday, go find that video from the Say You Will era. And it will really help you to lead into my story for this coming up for 2009. 2009, I saw one show and it was not a good experience. So it's a really brief time. I have a couple newspaper articles. That's about it. Some flyers, some stuff here and there. And that's really what Stevie was also doing at the end of 2008, was gearing up for the 2009 Unleashed tour. So there just really wasn't much. And then I really just don't know what I have there after. I don't know what's going, 2010, 2011 until 24 karat gold. I don't know. I'll have to see when I go there. I have some pages that are made, but everything's kind of, messed up and stuff. And really being in the more current stuff, I'm just like, oh my God, what do I have? Because I worked so hard on all those other volumes that I have with just so much. I had so much rumor, so much tuss, so much mirage and stuff like that. And here we're getting to points here where I have photographs from the concerts, but just not as much, newspaper articles and such as I'm accustomed to having for certain eras. So you'll be surprised as I am. So please come back and join me on Monday. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and thank you so much for coming tonight. And we'll see you all later. And Gypsy's new haircut, you'll love it. You'll love it when you see it. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for coming. Bye.